Good morning. It's an opportunity for me to present Oxurion. We are basically focused on diabetic eye disease, public company in Europe, hence this forward-looking statement. So focused on diabetic eye disease with 3 different proprietary molecules. This year, and actually the second half of this year, is quite intense for us because we're going to have data on all the trials that are running, and that's currently 4 of them. So with the anti-plasma kallikrein, we had some top-line data a few weeks ago. Anti-placental growth factor data phase 2 will come out also in a few weeks. Then with Jetrea, the molecule we developed under the brand of Thrombogenics, we have some bench to commercialization experience. And so the team that basically went through that whole exercise is still on board. We have not been raising money since 2012. And so with the financial position of 72 million euro, we're about good for 2 years. We're listed on Euronext, Oxurion, 80 employees, headquartered in Brussels, and also an office in New Jersey. We have some partners with whom we developed those molecules, Bicycle, Galapagos, but I'll give you some more details. We basically want to improve, like many of the colleagues here, on the current standard of care, anti-VEGF therapy, by improving the treatment outcomes on the one hand, and on the other hand, also decrease the treatment burden. Our pKal inhibitor, what we try to do is basically offer a solution for suboptimal responders to anti-VEGF. With the anti-PlGF, we hope to complement the anti-VEGF therapy. And with the 687, which is an Integrin inhibitor, a very powerful one in our preclinical results at least, there we think we have a powerful alternative for neovascular diseases. The pKal inhibitor that we developed together with Bicycle Therapeutics, it's a bicyclic peptide that is highly potent and a selective blocker of plasma kallikrein. Plasma kallikrein, which is a validated target in edema and involved in edema inflammation, and it also prevents microhemorrhages. So the trial results we announced a few weeks ago is basically a dose escalation, single dose in 12 patients. And what we found with regard to the BCVA, first of all, of course, it was a very safe molecule. What we found was that already on day 1, we had about 3 letters of improvement of the BCVA, and that went up to 7.5 letters at day 14. So with 1 injection, we kept the mean BCVA increase over baseline at about 6 letters at month 3. So very encouraging results. The more detailed data will be presented by Praveen Dugal on September 9. The anti-placental growth factor that we have developed together with Professor Karmeliet in Leuven is basically a selective inhibitor of pathological angiogenesis. As mentioned before, it blocks the VEGF-1 receptor, and it's a key molecule in this pathological angiogenesis, edema, and inflammation. What we always think is interesting is that linked to the disease severity is always these PlGF levels. The first study we did was compare basically 4 and 8 milligram, 3 injections, monthly intervals, and then read out day 90 and day 150. First of all, a tolerability study. The molecule was very safe. What we found in those phase 1 data in terms of BCVA was that, first of all, the green, the 8 milligram, was the dose to go for. The 8 milligram patients we had 30% of patients with a gain of more than 15 letters at day 90. And interestingly enough, we had, of those 8 milligram patients, we had them also at day 150 at 10 letters increase. This was a little bit beyond our expectation as monotherapy. Hence, we started a trial in combination with Lucentis, ranibizumab, European dose, the 500 microgram, together with anti-PlGF versus sham. 3 monthly injections. We had 72 patients. 48 were treatment naive, 24 treatment resistant. Readout of the data will be in a few weeks. And then finally, we have a pan-RGD integrin antagonist, which in a preclinical setting is a rather powerful molecule, licensed from Galapagos. It's involved in multiple processes involved in pathological angiogenesis and vascular leakage. And we do believe that next to the DR-DME setting, that it could also have interesting activity in wet AMD. The trial that is currently recruiting the last cohort is basically a dose escalation, single dose, and the results will be available Q4, maybe early Q1 of next year. So 19, interesting year for us. We have the phase 2 data, anti-PlGF, reading out in a few weeks. We also have a second trial in MACTEL1. I didn't mention that, but MACTEL1, unilateral blindness in male, which is PlGF-driven. It's only 10 patients. It's a rare disease, also data by the end of the year. And then we have the final data on 149 in September, and then phase 1 data 687, end of the year, beginning of next year. Thank you.